Titanic. The last 24-hour opening. 11:40 p.m. The Atlantic Ocean was silent. No storms, no giant waves, only darkness, and a ship that humans believed could never sink. Inside Titanic, people laughed, music played through the halls, champagne glasses touched, children slept peacefully. Nobody knew that within the next few hours, more than 1,500 people would disappear into freezing black water. This was not just a shipwreck. This was the night the world watched human pride collapse beneath the sea. This is the last 24 hours of Titanic. The unsinkable ship. April 14th, 1912. The RMS Titanic moved across the Atlantic like a floating city. At that time, she was the largest ship ever built. People called her unsinkable, a miracle of engineering, a masterpiece of luxury, a symbol of human power. For the rich, Titanic was luxury beyond imagination. For the poor, Titanic was hope. Inside the ship were businessmen, dreamers, workers, families, and immigrants searching for a better future in America. Nobody imagined this journey would become one of the deadliest disasters in history. Titanic was divided into worlds. At the top, first-class passengers lived like royalty. Golden lights filled the grand staircase. Elegant music echoed through the halls. Expensive dinners lasted for hours. Everything felt perfect. But deep below the upper decks, third-class families shared tiny rooms filled with dreams. Children laughed together. Young couples planned their future. Mothers held sleeping babies close to their hearts. Everyone believed tomorrow would come. But somewhere in the darkness ahead, death was already waiting. Throughout the day, wireless operators received warning after warning. Icebergs ahead, dangerous ice fields, freezing waters, ships nearby slowed down. But Titanic continued forward, fast, very fast. The crew trusted the ship. The passengers trusted the crew, and humans trusted technology. But the ocean does not care about human confidence. Night arrived, and suddenly the Atlantic became strangely calm, too calm. There were no waves crashing against the iceberg, no moonlight reflecting on the ice, only darkness stretching forever. High above the deck, lookouts searched the horizon with tired eyes. Cold wind touched their faces. Then suddenly, one of them froze. A shadow appeared directly ahead. Pause. An iceberg. The collision. 11:40 p.m. The warning bell rang 3 times. Iceberg right ahead. Officers reacted immediately. Hard to starboard, the giant ship turned slowly, but Titanic was too large, too heavy, too late. The iceberg scraped across the side of the ship with a horrifying sound. Steel screamed. Ice crashed onto the deck. Some passengers laughed at first. Others kicked pieces of ice like toys. Nobody understood the truth. Below the surface, freezing water rushed into the ship. Compartment after compartment flooded rapidly. Titanic could survive 4 flooded compartments, but 6 were already filling with death. At first, the crew tried to remain calm. Passengers were told there was no danger, but inside the engine rooms, the truth became impossible to ignore. Titanic was going to sink, and there were not enough lifeboats, not even close. Fear slowly spread through the ship. Confusion became panic. Mothers searched for children. Husbands searched for wives. People ran through freezing hallways trying to understand what was happening. And while fear grew above, the icy Atlantic continued rising below. In the middle of chaos, humanity revealed its true face. The musicians continued playing music, even as death approached. An elderly husband and wife refused to separate. They stayed together until the very end. One father placed his wife and children into a lifeboat, then stepped back. He knew he would never see them again. Some people gave up their seats to strangers, others fought desperately for survival. Every decision mattered, every second mattered, and every heartbeat brought Titanic closer to the bottom of the ocean. 2:18 a.m. The impossible began to happen. Titanic started breaking apart. The lights flickered violently. People screamed in terror. The massive ship lifted higher into the freezing night sky. Then suddenly, the lights went out forever. Darkness swallowed everything, and within moments, the great Titanic disappeared beneath the Atlantic Ocean. Pause, but the nightmare was not over. Thousands of people were now trapped in freezing black water. The temperature was deadly. The cold attacked the human body within minutes. People screamed for help in the darkness. Voices echoed across the ocean. Then, slowly, those voices began disappearing, one by one. Lifeboats floated nearby, but fear kept many survivors from returning. The ocean became silent again, a terrifying silence. Hours later, the rescue ship Carpathia finally arrived. What they found was heartbreak: empty lifeboats, frozen bodies, broken families. Out of more than 2,200 passengers and crew, over 1,500 were gone. The unsinkable ship had vanished beneath the sea. More than 100 years later, Titanic still rests deep beneath the Atlantic Ocean, silent, cold, forgotten by time, but never forgotten by history. Titanic was more than a disaster, it was a warning, a reminder that human pride can never defeat nature, that wealth means nothing in the face of death, and that during humanity's darkest moments, love, courage, and sacrifice become the only things that truly matter. Because in the end, the ocean took the ship, but the stories survived forever. And somewhere beneath the cold Atlantic waters, Titanic still sleeps in darkness,